Hey, welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm the Espresso Doc, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Breville Barista Express. I know when you get this machine it can be a little bit overwhelming in the beginning looking at all these buttons and settings, but this is why I'm going to try and explain it really simple so that you can pull the perfect espresso shot every time. So first thing what you want to do is turn on the machine and let it warm up. It takes a little bit of time to warm up, like a few minutes. And when you're waiting for it to warm up, you want to place your portafilter in the group head and have the portafilter and the basket warm up as well. Okay, so while you're waiting for that, you want to check your water tank and the water level. If it's near the bottom, you want to pour in some more fresh water. Next, get a fresh bag of coffee beans and pour it into the grinder. Using fresh coffee beans is essential for making great espresso. Fresh beans retain more aromatic compounds and oils, giving your coffee a rich and complex flavor. They also ensure consistent extraction, leading to a balanced and full-bodied cup. Stale beans older than 30 days make it a lot more difficult to achieve the proper pressure for a good extraction. You don't want to pour the whole bag. You always want to pour just enough for a cup of coffee. The rest you want to store in a tightly sealed container, just like this one. And this one you can even put the date when you open the bag to preserve the beans for as long as possible. I'll leave a link down below from Amazon where you can find this container. Okay, before I go on to explain the grinder settings and how to dial in an espresso shot, I do want to note that you can skip all that and use a pre-ground coffee. All you have to do is swap out the single wall basket with a dual wall basket. You can find them in the drawer below. Basically, you would just weigh out 18 grams of coffee for a double shot, tamp it, and pull a shot. Obviously, the espresso from the whole bean coffees is always going to taste much better. So with that being said, let's move on to the grinder settings. Okay, so each coffee requires a different grind size depending on the variety, origin, and mostly the roast. If it's a lighter roast of coffee, it's going to require a little bit of finer grind, and it's usually mostly around the number 7 or 6 setting. If it's a darker roast coffee, it's going to require a coarser grind, which I found to be around 8, 9, or 10 setting. So what I recommend is you start at the grind size setting 8, pull a shot, watch the pressure gauge. If it's around the 12 o'clock, it's good. If it's higher, then there's too much pressure, so you gotta grind coarser. And if it's lower, then you'll have to grind finer. Okay, so next it's time to grind our coffee. This portafilter basket requires 18 grams of coffee for a double shot of espresso. But if you don't have a scale, what I recommend is you just grind some extra amount of coffee, tamp it, and then use your razor to shave off the extra and have the perfect amount. You're gonna place your portafilter under the grinder, and as this is a lighter roast of espresso, I'm gonna set my setting at 8. Start with that. Okay, so once you have your grinder done, you want to slowly top the portafilter and try not to make too much mess. But if you don't want to make a lot of mess, I highly recommend getting one of these funnels. This is Barista Express specific, and this is just a regular 54 millimeter portafilter funnel. This is going to prevent you from so much frustration in the future. It's going to be a lot easier to handle your grinded coffee. I'll leave a link down below for the funnel, as well as a link to another video where I list all the useful espresso tools. But in the meantime, what you can do is once you have extra coffee ground, just shave off the top. Next you want to get your tamper. Tamp your coffee. And lastly, what you can do is get your razor again, shave off any extra coffee and throw it out. Your puck is now ready to go. Okay, as we can see, the pressure is almost perfect, maybe just a tad too high. So what I can do next is try grinding one setting coarser and pull another shot. Look at that crema, it's perfect. Okay, lastly, if you want to make cappuccinos or flat whites, you're gonna get your milk jug, fill it up to the spout. Make sure you use refrigerated milk, so right up to here. Turn on your steam wand and let it warm up. Once it's all warmed up, you're gonna quickly turn it off. Insert the steam wand in your milk jug and turn it back on. Position your steam wand on the spout, the steam wand tip near the left wall of the jug. Tilt the jug to the right and have the steam wand tip just below the surface or just on the surface of the milk. You're gonna move the jug up and down a few seconds at a time so that you don't introduce too much air. And you're gonna sink it just below the surface so that it can create that vortex and the microfoam. Once the milk jug is too hot to touch on the side, you're gonna turn off your steam wand, wipe it with a wet towel and purge it. Swirl your coffee on your milk. Start pouring from around 4 inches high, and once you have your cup half full, you can lower your jug and throw your latte art. That's it for this video, guys. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned. Peace.